friends! Welcome to Kitchen Princess Bamboo Japanese Everyday Food. Today I'm gonna be making cream bun as the part 2 of Japanese bread series. One of the most famous Japanese sweet bread loved by all generations. The traditional recipe is wrap thick custard cream in sweet dough and bake. But in this recipe, bake fluffy sweet bread first and fill with light and airy custard later on. This style is the latest trend you can find at the Japanese department store. When you open the moist bread, the vanilla custard flows out, and when you take a bite, it tastes like heaven. Let's get started. Let's knead the dough first. Today I will do it by hand. As I mentioned in the previous video, Japanese bread dough should be on the stickier side, so it would be annoying but turns out great. The salt and sugar should not be in contact with the yeast to avoid deactivating the yeast. Pour in 1/3 of the egg milk mixture slowly over the flour mixture. Toss to distribute the liquid. When the liquid no longer to be seen, the rest of the egg milk mixture in 2 times. It may seem taking more time but actually shorten the time in the end. When the dough starts to form, and every part of the flour is moist, let it sit for 10 minutes. Add a little amount of water to dry part if needed. The flour soaks up the moisture and the gluten is relaxed while resting the dough. And the resting makes kneading much more manageable and shorten the kneading time. After 10 minutes, take out the dough onto your working surface and knead until smooth. As I have already said, the dough is sticky, but trust me, you will get the best ever bread. First, spread the dough with your fingers like this and scrape the dough into one bowl. In this step, the gluten will develop faster. Repeat several times and start kneading. Start kneading with your feet stand firmly with your knees bent slightly. Knead the dough like exercising. Draw your nipples in, relax your shoulders, use your back muscles, pay attention to move your shoulder blade. After 3 to 4 minutes, the dough should be smooth like this. Pinch the dough and spread with your fingers. The dough spreads thin like paper. You can add the butter. Spread the dough again and add room temperature butter. Fold in and start kneading. The dough will fall apart first, but it will come together sooner or later. After 2 minutes, the dough should look like this. Butter makes the dough soft and flexible and easy to handle. Roll into a bowl with the surface stretching. Put in the greased bowl and cover with a piece of plastic. Let it rise at the warm place for 50 to 60 minutes. Meanwhile, let's make the custard filling. Pour the milk and half of the sugar in a pot and start cooking on low. Sugar prevents forming the film on the surface. Separate the yolks from the white. Keep 1 tablespoon for egg wash. You can freeze the egg white. It keeps well in the freezer. Whisk the egg yolk and the rest of the sugar until fluffy. Add in a pinch of salt, vanilla, flour, and cornstarch. Mix until well combined. While I add the flour and cornstarch. Flour makes the structure of the custard. Cornstarch makes the texture smooth. That is what I want my custard to be. At this point, the milk starts boiling. Turn off the heat and add a little amount of boiling milk. Mix well and add some more milk mixture. Add about a half amount of milk, then get the mixture back to the pot. Turn the heat to medium and start cooking, stirring constantly. When you see the mixture is curdling, stir vigorously until the mixture evenly thickens. Cook a minute or so after boiling, make a perfect cooked custard. If you don't cook enough, the custard will taste floury. Add in the butter and mix until smooth. Transfer to a cream bowl and cover with a plastic wrap directly on top of the surface to avoid making film. Put it in an ice bath and chill quickly. Let's take a look at the bread dough. It becomes double in bulk and it took 50 minutes today. Dust your fingers with flour and stick into the center of the dough. The hole you just made stays as it is. The dough is ready to proceed. If the hole shrinks, let it rise longer. If the dough shrinks, it is over-fermented. In this case, you have nothing to do, so proceed in any case. Take out the dough onto the working surface and divide into 8. My dough weighs 480 grams in total, so I divide it 50 grams each. Shape into a bowl for the bench rest. Bench rest is the time to relax the gluten released from the cutting stress. Leave it 5 minutes. Now let's shape into a disc. If you have rings for English muffin, go ahead and use it. You can make an aluminum foil, but you can make it without a ring. Grease it if you use the rings. Take one dough and spread it with your palm. Roll out several times to release the carbon dioxide so that the dough can breathe the fresh air. Fold the dough on top and bottom, left and right. Pinch to seal the end and press the seam side down. Spread it out to 5 to 6 cm in diameter, then place in a ring. Let them rise for 45 to 50 minutes at warm place until double in bulk. Preheat the oven to 170 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, let's prepare the custard cream. Whip fresh cream and sugar until foamy. Do not over-whip, otherwise the custard will not soft. Pass through the custard a sieve to loosen up and make it even more smooth. Add in the heavy cream in 2 to 3 times to loosen the custard. Take your time to mix evenly with a cutting motion. It doesn't look like to combine, but it will sooner or later. The cream should look like this after mixing, smooth and silky. Cover with a plastic wrap and keep in the fridge until used. After 45 minutes, the dough should look like this, so fluffy. Carefully brush egg white on the surface. Pop in the oven and bake 15 minutes. Rotate the tray halfway through. For cream pan, we bake the bread relatively lower temperature for longer time to get the soft texture. Take out from the oven and carefully take out from the mold. Run tip of the knife around the ring and take it out. Here comes an unusual step for this particular bread. While still hot, cover with plastic wrap and leave it until it comes to room temperature. The steam released from the bread is going back to the bread. That makes the bread so moist. Does that make sense? I am so happy to find a way to recreate super moist bread. It looked just like as the selling at the store. When it comes to a room temperature, stick a chopstick from the side and make a hollow in the center. Now let's pipe in the custard cream. Transfer the prepared custard cream to a piping bag and 8mm round tip attached. Pipe in 60 grams of cream or until you are happy. There you have your cream pan. Let me show you the inside. Wow, lots of cream. It's not too sweet. Aroma from the vanilla is so lovely. As I mentioned, it tastes like heaven. Give it a try and let me know how you like it. Thank you for watching the video. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Share my delicious Japanese cuisine with your family and friends. I have listed all the helpful links in the description box below. Thanks again and I will see you soon. Bye!